Have you ever wondered why some people seem unshakable? No matter what life throws at them, whether they are criticized or praised, whether they win or lose, they remain calm and steady. What is their secret? Do they possess a special kind of mental strength that most of us haven't discovered yet? In the Dhammapada, the Buddha teaches, just as a solid rock is not shaken by the wind, so the wise are not moved by praise or blame. This teaching opens the door for us to explore. What does it truly mean to have a strong mind? And how can we cultivate it in our modern lives full of stress and uncertainty? In today's video, we'll uncover 3 practical tips, rooted in the Buddha's wisdom and applicable to everyday life, that will help you become mentally stronger and unshakable in the face of life's storms. Life is like the ocean, sometimes calm and peaceful, other times stormy and wild. One day we may be praised, the next day criticized. Sometimes we succeed, sometimes we fail. The Buddha called these the 8 worldly conditions: gain and loss, praise and blame, pleasure and pain, fame and disgrace. Every human being must face them. What matters most is how we respond to these changes. If our minds are carried away by joy and sorrow, praise and blame, we will be like a leaf blown by the wind. But if we cultivate mindfulness and awareness, we will become like a solid rock, unshaken by the storms. For example, when someone criticizes you, instead of immediately reacting with anger, you can pause, take a breath, observe your emotions, and ask yourself, is this true? If yes, I will correct myself. If not, I will let it pass like the wind. The Buddha taught, no one in this world can escape praise and blame, but the wise are not drowned by either. Mental strength doesn't mean you never fall. It means that when you fall, you know how to stand back up quickly. A mentally strong person is not someone who never suffers, but someone who knows how to transform suffering and return to peace as soon as possible. The key is to understand what is within your control and what is not. What people say about you, right pointing arrow, not in your control. How you respond to those words, right pointing arrow, entirely within your control. If someone insults you, you always have 2 choices: hold on to the anger, or smile and let it go. The choice is yours. That is true strength. The Buddha taught, better than conquering 1,000 enemies in battle is to conquer oneself. Victory over oneself is the greatest victory. Moreover, practice developing a problem-solving mindset. When challenges arise, instead of panicking, calmly analyze. Why did this happen? What is the root cause? What can I change? By doing so, you won't be swallowed by the problem, but instead you'll learn and grow from it. Many people believe that showing anger, toughness, or a fearless attitude is a sign of strength, but in reality, that is a sign of inner weakness. True strength lies in being able to smile in the storm and in loving yourself deeply. A simple daily practice. Each morning when you wake up, remind yourself, today, no matter what happens, I will love myself. I will not carry the negativity of others. I will refresh my heart. Like emptying the trash bin every day. If you keep trash in your heart for too long, it will start to smell. But if you let go daily, your heart will be light and peaceful. The Buddha taught, hatred is never appeased by hatred, but only by love. This is an eternal law. And that love must begin with yourself. When people talk about mental strength, they often imagine unbreakable willpower or fearless toughness. But in reality, true strength comes from awareness and compassion. A mentally strong person is not someone who is hard as steel, but rather someone who knows when to be flexible and when to be firm. Just like water, soft, adaptable, yet capable of carving through rock. In the Anguttara Nikaya, Numerical Discourses, the Buddha said, the wise do not lament in the face of suffering, for they know that suffering is impermanent and will pass. This reminds us that mental strength is not about running away from emotions, but about understanding their true nature. When we realize that sadness and anger are only temporary states, we are no longer enslaved by them. In my personal view, in today's world, work pressure, social media, and endless comparisons make many people anxious and insecure. That's why practicing these 3 tips doesn't just help us become stronger, it helps us maintain inner balance, so we won't be swept away by the fast-paced life around us. Another teaching of the Buddha that I deeply resonate with is, mind precedes all mental states. Mind is their chief, they are all mind-wrought. If with a pure mind one speaks or acts, happiness follows like a shadow that never leaves. Dhammapada. Verse 1. This means, to build true mental strength, we must start with caring for and mastering our own mind. No one else can do this work for us. After listening and reflecting on these teachings, we can draw several essential lessons. Accept that ups and downs are natural. No one can live a life of only praise without ever being blamed. No one can always succeed without tasting failure. Understanding this universal truth helps us suffer less and face changes with calmness. Control what truly belongs to you. We cannot control others' words, actions, or thoughts, but we can fully control our own mind. Peace or turmoil, strength or weakness, they all come from how we choose to respond. Cultivate resilience. A strong person is not someone who never falls, but someone who rises the fastest after falling. Every failure is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become more resilient. Practice compassion for yourself. Compassion is not only for others. When we learn to love ourselves, we refuse to let negativity poison our hearts. Each day is a fresh chance to cleanse the mind, like taking out the trash every morning. Everything is impermanent. This is the foundation of freedom. When we realize that difficulties, emotions, success, or failure do not last forever, we stop clinging too tightly and stop falling into despair. The Buddha taught, just as a lotus rises from the mud unstained, so the wise live in the world without being tainted by it. Mental strength is not something distant. It is a skill that everyone can cultivate. Through the three practices, maintaining stability in ups and downs, building resilience, and practicing self-compassion, we gradually become calmer and stronger in the face of life's challenges. Remember this: being strong doesn't mean never being weak. True strength means embracing your weakness, accepting your failures, and then rising again with a wiser and more compassionate heart. The Buddha once taught, the greatest victory in life is to conquer oneself. Therefore, you don't need to compare yourself with anyone else. As long as today you are more peaceful than yesterday, more self-aware than yesterday, more loving than yesterday, that is already a significant step forward on your path to mental strength. I wish you, and all of us, to discover the unshakable strength within. A mind not swayed by praise or blame, not carried away by ups and downs. A heart that knows how to love, to let go, and to live fully in each moment.